Now we want to see how can we add a legend. So the usual way will be to specify legend. Remember, we have to specify the position, say top right. And then let's say what we want to do, the text that we want to add into the legend is actually a text which contains these teams, right? So we can pass in a vector and say the first team is Arsenal, the second team is Man United, third team is Man City, then it's Liverpool FC. So this is a complete vector which contains the teams that we want to add into the legend. Okay, remember that we also want to add colors into the legend. So what can we do is that we can use this argument fill. So what happens is that we want to fill with color, right? So with colors. So what happens is that, remember this vector colors contains all the colors. So what will happen is that all the teams inside this legend will be filled based on colors, right? So let's run this and see. So if you observe here is that we have added this legend, right? And we have added the teams, which is this vector. And then we said fill equals colors. So what happens is that it will fill each of the team based on this vector of colors, right? Remember we defined vector, which was colors. So this is the vector colors, right? So what happened is that each team here got filled with this color that is found in this vector. So that is how you can add a legend. But there is also another way in which we can add a legend. Say for example, we come here and say this is the barplot, okay? And then what we want to do is we want to specify legend.text. So if we specify legend.text, and then I'm going to remove these additional arguments for demonstration purposes, and then we're gonna have let's run this, right? Then I'm going to say legend.text. So in this case, when you say legend.text, you want to specify the text that will be inside the legend. And in this case, we want these teams. Okay, so we want these teams. So we have to pass in this vector, right? And then if now we want a list of additional arguments that we want inside that legend, we have to say args.legend, right? We're gonna use this argument and say, for example, we pass in a list, right? So say for example, we want to change, say we want to change the size. So we have to use this argument for changing the size. We are already familiar with it. And then when it's come to the position, say top right, right? So if we run this and we bring in this, you can see that we have added the legend in this case using another way, which we used arguments inside barplot function. We used arguments inside barplot function. So that is another way in which you can use to name a legend, right? Say for example, you come in here and say, okay, let's make this to be 1.2. So you can see it keeps on increasing. It keeps on increasing the text size that is found inside the legend, right? But we want to use 0.75 so it is clear. So that is how you can also add a legend. Now, say you wanted a horizontal bar plot. So what can you do in this case? So you come in here and you come and say horizontal becomes true. So in this case, you are specifying that you want your bar plot to be horizontally. Okay, so this is how you can have a horizontal bar graph or bar plot.